we come back on the program, a very, very nice story, a very interesting story, and a very unique product. We'll explain it all in a minute. Friends, we got a very, very interesting lady I'd like to introduce to you right now. She's got one heck of a unique business. Please welcome to our program, Tracy Merry-Thomson. Tracy, welcome to the program. Nice to have you here.
Nice to see you, Mark.
All right. You are the creator of Big Stick covers. These units, right? Correct?
Big Stick coats.
Big Stick coats. Forgive me. Forgive me for that. These are, I guess, they cover up. They cover up, I guess, the institutionalized gray canes that people use for whatever reason, and they put a lot of flair and pizzazz into it. Question is, where did it come from and how did it all begin? Give us a little sense of why you started this, and then I'd also like to talk about the MS that you're dealing with in your life. So why don't we start with where this came from here? How about that?
I was working at Toshiba Business Systems, successful, on the go, busy lady. One of my customers was West End Health and Home Care, and in October I was selling them equipment. In November, I had to go in there and buy a cane. I looked at it, and first thing I said is, it's handicap gray.
Yep. Yes. Can I slide this up to just remind folks what we're talking about? That one happens to be steel, but let's show one. We'll show this one right here.
This one I had. Now this one's a good one because the first thing I did when I went home, I got a gold can of spray paint and I spray painted it, but it still wasn't what I wanted. When I would go out to a store, I would have people. They would look at the cane and their eyes wouldn't raise up. For some reason, people don't know what to say to a handicapped person, and it was like stop vision. As soon as they saw the cane, they wouldn't look into my face. So then I started putting jewelry around it and trying to dress it up. And then I started looking on the internet to try and find something to cover the cane, and there wasn't anything. I did a worldwide search, a patent search, everything. There was nothing. And I thought, I'm going to start making them myself, and I'm going to share them with everybody. And when I started wearing a matching Big Stick coat with my outfit,
it does match your coat quite nicely, actually.
What would happen is there was no more stop vision. I would have people look at the cane, and then they get this big grin on their face, like, you go, girl.
Right on.
And when friends of mine who knew I was a capable and going person, when I was hit with the MS and they started watching me with a cane and becoming more handicapped, and they would look all sorrowful in their face and they'd say, how are you doing? And I would say, I walk tall and I carry a big stick.
That's how you came up with the name, right there. Let's talk about your MS right now. This is pretty serious business, correct?
Yes.
What? Out of the blue, no clue, everything was rolling along fine, and then bang. And give a sense of the timeline when the news hit and to where you are now, and how you're doing.
October 30th, a year and a half ago, I received a fax at work from a doctor that said suspected multiple sclerosis. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
There is not enough education, and we have one of the highest populations in the world right here, and you don't see them because they're in bed. They're not out there, or they try and hide the fact, because as soon as you tell your employer, you believe they're going to fire you. So plus, it's such a long explanation because MS is not just one thing that's wrong. It's the myelin sheath on the end of the brain stems that are scarred. They're called lesions.
Right.
They affect my brain will go and I will be trying to tell my leg to walk, and it won't do it.
Right. And it progresses, of course, right?
Yes. Most people with MS, 85 to 90%, have relapsing remitting. Where you get periods of remission, and it does progress every time an attack happens. I have a very rare form. It's in a 1 to 4 percentile that is progressive all the time. I do not get any remission.
With all that on the plate, you are not letting that affect your drive and your passion for doing and for being active and going on, and that's where this came from. What's the next step after now that you've launched this business? But this is also going to help. And this is not just straight up, I'm doing this for my own benefit. This is going to help a lot of people.
It isn't a business.
That's right. That's the point. So tell me how you've set this up so other people will benefit.
I have learned through my life to help others, you reap rewards that you can't even describe. We're in a society, it's all about me syndrome. When we can get out of ourselves, that is when we can be a better and healthier person. Like, I grew up with the mother that was the baker of all cookies, was the driver of all field trips. I had a father that would take bags of clothes to Vancouver inner city and place them beside passed out drug addicts. I have a husband that would give the last shirt off his back. I have a son. When he was 4 years of age, I was going to Mexico when I was filling a suitcase full of gifts to bring to people who were poor. And I told him to bring his unwanted toys and put them in. And he put all his favorite toys in. And I knew that the gift had been passed on to him. We are stronger. We feel good about ourselves when we help others. Big Stick Coats, I did not open it as a reason for, or a way for me to make money. It's a way to find, we are in pursuit for the cure for MS.
Right.
I built a website, Big Stick Productions. I found that when I was isolated at home and I couldn't get out, I can't go to support groups. I was doing the self-pity, oh, woe is me. So I started up MS Chat, which is on the website, that you can put questions and get the support.
Can we just pause here for a second? We've got to do some news and some weather and stuff, but we'll come back after all that and sort of describe how to get to the website and how people can really be a part of this. Just stay with us. We'll be right back with this amazing story. I'm joined one more time by Tracy Merry-Thomson, who is the person that helped put together these Big Stick Coats, which you see in front of you, are very decorative covers for what are generally pretty bland canes, and they do a lot, like you said in the first segment. Instead of someone looking at the cane and kind of getting all serious on you, they see the cane and see that there's character and spirit, and they kind of bypass all of that and just treat you as they would anyone else. So that's kind of one of the big effects.
They treat me better because
better.
Absolutely, because I'm approachable.
They see you can deal with everything, right? Sort of, I would think. Is that fair?
Yeah, approachable, very approachable.
You've turned this around. You're a very entrepreneurial type person, so you came up with this idea from experimenting with what to do with your cane, and then you turned it around to help others and ultimately help find a cure for MS is the ultimate goal here. Tell us.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about the website, and then I need to talk about Klondike Cane Day. So let's talk first about the website. If you go to the website, that's how people can help, right? Purchasing these things and going to the website can help, correct?
Yes, going to the website, you can purchase the canes. There's information that's user-friendly because people with MS have cognitive problems. When I didn't know what MS was, I had a hard time understanding because the cognitive functions aren't there. I've made it very user-friendly with the help of lots of people. Andrew Smith has helped design the website, and we have MS Chat on there, and all the latest events, and a link to the MS Society, because, of course, they have the best information.
Sure. These are available at Jubilee Activewear or West End Health and Home Care Centers or on the website. That's right down the distribution world, right?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit. So there you go. Let's talk a little bit about Klondike Cane Day. This is a fundraiser for MS. It's the July 26th, Saturday night at the Manhattan Club downtown, 105 and 103rd. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster, 451-8000. That's how you get to it. What are they going to? What's this all about? Tell me about the evening.
The evening is, my first goal, of course, is awareness. Knowledge is power. So awareness, raising money to find the cure, and having a debut for the Canes and a fun evening out.
Right on. Thank you for your time, Tracy. It's been a real pleasure to hang out with you. You're quite the inspirational person.
Thank you, Mark.
Right on. Come back anytime, all right? This is Tracy Merry-Thomson, and this is what she's been doing. This is what she's been up to. Who knows what's coming out of her camp next? Who knows? I'm sure it'll be amazing.